Hey everyone, Brobuscus here, and welcome back to another Let's Watch of Death Battle. Today's episode, we've got the Incredible Hulk from Marvel versus Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, of course, as always, there should be a link in the description below. Go watch the actual episode yourself. Go support the official release before watching some random guy on YouTube react to it, okay? Got it? Cool. So, alright. Well, we got episode 199, Hulk versus Godzilla. This is going to be an interesting fight for sure. There's a lot at play here. Too many factors for the amount of absolutes I kept hearing over the course of this waiting period. Kind of annoying, but you know. Anyway, so how do I know these two? Well, I've read about during the lead up to this episode. I've read about 200 Hulk comics. So I'd say I know him pretty well. I mean, granted, it's 200 compared to 2100, but details. And then obviously I've seen most of the Marvel movies. So I'd say I know Hulk quite a bit. And then also like there's the Hulk versus series. Hulk versus Wolverine is amazing. I love that movie. Now, as opposed to Godzilla, I watched most of the MonsterVerse stuff, like the 2014 movie. I thought was really good. The King of the Monsters, I think, is fantastic. Well, okay, maybe fantastic's not the right word, but it like the first time I remember the first time I watched that movie. It was with some of my cousins, and that movie is an absolute adrenaline rush, and I cannot help but love it. Like by the time I finished that movie, I was like, all right, I want to go do something now. It's a very energizing movie, and I think immediately after that we played Smash, so that helps too. Godzilla versus Kong is fun. I did watch Kong Skull Island, but obviously Godzilla's not in that. I have not seen the new Godzilla Kong movie, the New Empire, I believe it's called. I've not seen that. And then I'm sure I've seen other Godzilla movies. I couldn't tell you which ones, nor could I really tell you anything about them. So, yeah, but I've seen enough to consider myself at least a casual fan of Godzilla. And then obviously both of these two have been on Death Battle before. Hulk twice now. So this is his third. This is Godzilla's second. I know some people are going to count Mechagodzilla. Shut up. But yeah, I'm pretty familiar with these two, and I'd say I like both of them. Now, which one do I like more? AKA, who do I want to win? Well, the fact that I've read over 200 Hulk comics should probably be a dead giveaway. Yeah, I kind of want the Hulk to win this one. I'm not crazy, like... I do want the Hulk to win. I am pretty, like... I do want him to win pretty badly here, but, most of it is because of, like I said earlier, a lot of the absolutes I kept hearing. Like, people were like, oh, Godzilla is absolutely winning this. And I was just like, okay, you know... Like I said, I think there's too many factors to play like absolutes here, so it just kind of got annoying. So I kind of want the Hulk to win just to shut him up. But will he win is the question, and quite honestly, I have no idea. Like I said, there's too much at play here. I guess it depends a lot on how they analyze both of them, particularly Godzilla. Like Hulk, like there's a lot to look into for the Hulk, but it's still like you know what to expect, like when it comes to like what they're tackling, which is like, you know, his mainline Earth 616 comics. Pretty self-explanatory. Godzilla is a bit of a different story. I know they're doing like some form of composite, but I don't know how much they're really going to play with that notion. Um, like, is this like a Leonardo thing where it's like what's generally consistent across all versions of the character? Um, or is it like screw it, we ball? um, um, because the problem with with the latter notion is that I feel like a lot of, granted, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't do any research on Godzilla during the lead up to this. I was focusing entirely on the Hulk. From what I understand, a lot of Godzilla's different variations do have some sort of like contradictory details at play. And the main one is Godzilla Ultima. It was Godzilla was Singular Point. That thing is crazy. If that's here, then I am left stunned. I at that point no idea who's gonna win. If it's not included, I would feel pretty confident that the Hulk is winning this, because I think just from what I've heard, most versions of Godzilla, at least like the main ones, Hulk is probably like, okay, here's the only absolute I would say here is that Hulk is probably, okay, maybe I shouldn't say it's an absolute, but I feel pretty sure in saying that Hulk is probably a lot stronger than Godzilla. Like, even at its best, I think the Hulk's strength, adaptability, resistances, regeneration, it is crazy. Um, like, I remember someone saying this, and I'm kind of agreeing, is that Godzilla, like when full comp like this, is probably mopping the floor with like 90% of Death Battle's combatants. It's just that he's fighting the Hulk. So if it wasn't, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut straight to the chase. I kind of think Hulk is winning this. Like, if I just had to guess who's going to win, I'd probably say Hulk. But I'm not confident at all. In fact, I'd actually feel probably a little bit more confident in saying that it might be a stalemate, because there's a good chance that neither of these two are going to have the means to kill each other. But I personally think that the Hulk's ridiculous strength, adaptability, regeneration, and resistances, and especially if they decide not to include Ultima, like Godzilla's like a higher dimensional true form or whatever. However it works, I'm not sure. If that's not here, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I think the Hulk wins, like just like that. If he is there, then I think what it might come down to is if Hulk can interact with that higher dimensional bullshit. Because if he can, then I think he's got this, honestly. Because I think Hulk is just gonna manhandle, like on a physical level, he's gonna manhandle pretty much any version of Godzilla. And then I just don't like the main thing for me is that the Hulk just seems like he's the only one that can actually like possibly end this fight in any meaningful way, whether that be take out an avatar and then it takes a while for a new avatar to come in. Again, I'm not sure how that works. I've heard kind of conflicting details about that. Um, um, it's like the way I see it is that the more like if it's a stalemate, I don't think Godzilla. If it is a stalemate, the way I see it is that Godzilla just has no way to put the Hulk down for good. But the Hulk, while he can take out a bunch of different versions of Godzilla, that higher dimension one is just something he can't interact with or something he can't like reach. And if that's the case, then I think that's probably just a stalemate. But I could also see the argument that, well, technically the Hulk is beating Godzilla by taking out all these avatars. So technically that kind of counts as a Hulk victory, maybe? I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm sitting at right now. So if I have to pick one of these two, I'm going to go with the Hulk, just for now. But obviously, we need to watch the analyses. So let's just shut up and get right into it. Good start.
The Hulk versus Godzilla.
Marvel's Green Goliath against the king of the monsters. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Looks really good. The Hulk is the personification of the enemy which lurks under the surface of us all. We have to control that enemy within ourselves or we can't.
What
Okay.
is the Hulk? Is he man? Is he monster? Or is he both?
He's a mean green smashing machine, the angry son of the
I need to
Gamma
rewatch that
Bomb.
movie.
A weapon designed
The
by
Incredible
the greatest
Hulk.
gamma scientist of all, Dr. Robert Bruce Banner.
But just before it went off, Bruce had to be a hero and save some dumb schmuck who was hanging around the test site. Damn it, Rick.
That day,
Rick has to be the
Bruce
most
Banner
oblivious
died.
person for that.
He became the Incredible Hulk, a pissed-off giant who must be really glad Bruce wears the purple stretch fit.
Standing 8 feet tall and stronger than 10 million men, the Hulk emerges when Banner's anger flares.
Don't make him angry. You won't like him when he's angry.
But it's even more complex than that.
Yeah.
Banner suffers from dissociative identity disorder, with many different Hulks embodying alternate personalities.
Like Joe Fixit, the original Grey Hulk. He's a cutting
The, moody
gangster and
teenager,
the
I'm
only
pretty
Hulk
sure.
Who's got that drip?
The Devil Hulk is a violent, overprotective personality that Banner unintentionally manifested as a result of his father's abuse.
Holy shit! Somebody actually drew this?
But
Yeah.
the Hulk everyone knows,
Yeah,
the big
Bruce's
guy,
childhood
is known as
really
Savage
sucks.
Hulk. It seems he also developed from parental abuse, hence his childlike personality. Though I'd argue he's more clever than you'd expect.
The angrier he is, the stronger he gets, with no limit.
Except for one, Bruce Banner. See, Banner's relationship with the Hulk is complicated.
Oh,
Yeah.
they hate each other.
Mostly. Occasionally, they can come to an understanding. The alter best representing this would be the Professor Hulk, a balanced blend of Banner's brain and the Hulk's brawn.
The buffest nerd you'll ever meet. But
Hell
what about
yeah.
when Bruce takes a step back? If he isn't trying to restrain the Hulk, what do you get?
The Green Scar.
The World Breaker!
Without Bruce's temperament, the Hulk's power and fury surges,
Yeah.
mixing Savage's rising strength with the personality and cunning of a warlord. The Green Scar is no mere superhero. He's a king and a conqueror.
Hulk is strong enough to lift 150 billion tons of rock, jump from New Mexico to Florida in a single bound, and shake all the dimensions connected by the crossroads at once. He was pinned
Yeah.
down by the spear of Proxima Midnight, which holds the weight of a star, and was fine. And when we say World Breaker, we mean it. While sparring with Red She-Hulk, the two of them shattered a whole planet.
At one point,
Huh.
he was bound in chains forged from the essence of the first firmament, the manifestation
Yeah,
of the
this
first
feat's
universe,
ridiculous.
which could bind eternity itself. Not even Galactus was capable of saving eternity alone, and the Hulk
Lifebringer
just
Galactus as
broke
well.
it by himself.
Maybe Thor should rethink calling himself the strongest Avenger, especially since the Avengers
Maybe.
first assembled, because none of them could take down Hulk on their own.
Speaking of Thor, the Hulk consistently battles on par with him, even when he held the Odin Force, with which he could command his hammer through infinite distances and match the power of Null,
Yep.
who killed countless Celestials.
I guess
Even
Thor's
without
not
it,
getting any
Null can
faster
cross
now.
The universe in seconds.
Hulk tore a universe apart with just a clap. Good luck with that, Hammer Man. But the green guy's got way more going on than just brute strength.
As the Hulk's power stems from gamma, he can utilize and absorb it and other radiation in various ways.
Yeah, like regenerating from fatal wounds. Even getting ripped apart by Wolverine barely slows him down.
And the angrier he gets, the more regenerating cells his body produces.
It gets weirder. Did you know that if he absorbs enough gamma, he can shoot lasers from his eyes?
Yeah,
and
true.
read people's minds? Oh, also,
Wait, what?
he can see ghosts and give him a good old-fashioned Hulk smash Smash!
Hulk can break through the boundaries of comic book borders themselves into the empty white between panels, a gutter space beyond time and concept.
Wait,
Like
what?
how She-Hulk can, for some reason, break the fourth wall and talk to the reader? Oh, wait, that makes sense now. It's all gamma.
Exactly. In real life, gamma rays are electromagnetic radiation similar to X-rays.
But in Marvel Comics, gamma comes from hell.
Yeah.
On Earth 616, gamma radiation is an electromagnetic frequency that can manifest as either a wave, a particle, or something else. Something that nobody really understands.
Except for Bruce.
That's right. Dr. Banner is a certified genius with 7 PhDs.
Yeah.
According to Norman Osborn, he's the 4th smartest person on the planet.
And that's
Oh.
comparing him to big brains like Reed, Doom, and Tony.
Banner
Yeah.
built the Her Collider Synchrotron, a machine that can scan the entire multiverse with the speed of a hypermind. He created the Gamma Core, which could rupture space-time between universes. He built an interstellar radio on a deserted planet without any pre-established technology. He wired up Hulk like a starship, piloting him from the mindscape within. He even built an ultimate nullifier. In fact, the original intent of his Gamma Bomb was to be non-lethal, only targeting inorganic material.
But Thunderbolt Ross wanted something with a bit more boom.
Yeah.
Can't blame him.
Fearing its ramifications,
I mean, I guess
Banner
not.
developed the Gamma
Still an
Bomb
asshole,
on his
though.
own, keeping its design secret. In the process, he tapped into an unknown form of gamma energy that breaks down reality and mutates it beyond actuality. On that fateful day, he opened the Green Door.
You know how we said the bomb killed Bruce? That wasn't some flowery metaphor or whatever. He died and came back
Yep.
as Hulk.
Came back from the below place, the hell beneath hell, the lowest possible dimension of reality.
It's trippy, but whenever Hulk dies, he goes there. Then a green door opens and he goes back to where he was before. Easy as that. It doesn't matter if he's been atomized, sliced up into jars, or digested by werewolves. If he goes through the door, he's back, ready to rumble. The green door did get locked into a red door, but he's easily broken through it multiple times.
Yep.
Not a problem.
It turns out that third form of gamma, this anomaly from the bedrock of hell, spawns from none other than the one below all, the dark side of the one above all.
That's right. God
Literally-
has a Hulk, and it wants
Yeah.
Bruce to bring about the end of all things. But Hulk just said, nah.
So, what is the Hulk? An uncontrollable monster? A prison for a tortured soul? A super weapon for Armageddon?
Don't overthink it, Wiz. Hulk is Hulk.
Yep.
And Hulk's the strongest one there is.
All right. Godzilla is the son of the atomic bomb. He is a nightmare created out of the darkness of the human soul. He is the sacred beast of the apocalypse.
The year was
Nailed it.
1946. The press gathered at Bikini Atoll to witness the power of the nuclear bomb. But many leagues beneath their feet, something ancient stirred.
Godzilla, the king of the monsters. He was pretty pissed off over the worst wake-up ever, so he swam to Japan for one hell of a crash out.
Japan was still recovering from the war, so seeing this mutilated radioactive monster towering high like a mushroom cloud wasn't just frightening, it seemed prophetic. The bomb was just the beginning. Man had sparked the end of times.
Complete with googly eyes. And the most epic roar ever.
Over the years, there have been many iterations of the beast.
Between movies, TV, comics, and cartoons, there's at least 27 different Godzillas stomping around, not including Manila, the Scrappy Doo of kaiju. Sorry, that's insulting to Scrappy Doo.
Despite the variety,
Wow.
Godzilla is somewhat consistent, so we'll examine his entire history, focusing on the larger releases. In most iterations,
Right.
Godzilla is a rare theropod that went dormant for millions
Oh,
of years
there's
before
Ultima,
nuclear
okay.
bombs mutated it into a gargantuan radioactive monster.
Standing 165 feet tall, at minimum, Koji smashes through skyscrapers with ease. He's so casual about bullets and rockets, they might as well be gnats. And the bombs did so much more than just pump up his size. He's got atomic breath.
A concentrated beam or spray of radioactive heat. With an estimated range of 1,100 miles, it can exceed 500,000 degrees Celsius, almost 90 times hotter than the surface of the sun.
But depending on how much radiation he's absorbed, or life energy from a giant pterodactyl, he can
Don't
do
question
way
it.
more with it.
His red spiral ray is a supercharged version that doubles in heat and power. And spins.
Or he can blast it out
You know.
of his back and fly. Well,
Why it's called Spiral.
he could always do that, I guess. Look at him go.
With enough energy built up, Godzilla can blast a nuclear pulse out of his whole body, creating a massive wave of atomic destruction.
His breathing laser can even break through dimensions, like when he found himself face to face with a giant mech piloted by Hatsune Miku.
There's also a number of era-exclusive powers. Shin Godzilla can fire rays from his tail.
And Hanna-Barbera Godzilla can fire rays from his eyes. Pew, pew.
Effectively a living nuclear reactor, Shin possesses a natural phased array radar that can detect and attack threats automatically. And Godzilla Earth, who
Okay.
grew over 1,000 feet tall across 2,000 years, could make a barrier only penetrable by kaiju that can bypass physics.
And don't forget, Big G can ball with the best of them. After Charles Barkley got him his own pair of Nikes, Godzilla got busy.
You know, it's kind of hard to emphasize just how impressively terrifying Godzilla can be when you're bringing up this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Why don't you find a better spokesperson for Dr. Pepper? Fine, let's talk about when his presence boiled the entire Arctic Ocean, or how he picked up and threw Biolante, which weighed 200,000 tons, or when he no-sold not one, not two, but 3 meteors.
Including the Permian period extinction event that happened about 200 million years ago.
Then he went to hell,
Yeah.
fought some fucked up versions of God and Satan, and atomic breath at Space Godzilla so hard that he blew up the whole planet. That's scary enough for you? God, I want a Dr. Pepper.
With such awesome might, he's battled the most dangerous of foes, like King Ghidorah and Gigan. In Godzilla vs. Megalon, Gigan flew from the M Hunter Nebula to Earth in 24 seconds, and that nebula is 30,000 light years away.
But sadly, OG Goji got done in by the cruelest weapon ever.
The Oxygen,
The Oxygen Destroyer, yeah.
Developed in secret by Dr. Serizawa, this weapon could suffocate and liquefy molecules. The ramifications of such a weapon were so detrimental, Serizawa took the secrets of its design to his early grave.
He got lucky. It doesn't matter what you throw at Godzilla. He never really dies. You can blow up his head, explode him from the inside, or crush him in a black hole. Then he'll come back.
Or evolve into an even more powerful form. Godzilla's always possessed heightened adaptation, but many iterations clearly showcase instantaneous evolution.
And super
God.
forms. He's gone full shonen and powered up a few times. So much so, he almost kicked off a nuclear winter just by existing.
Even the Oxygen Destroyer could not permanently end the first Godzilla. His ghost possessed a robot, his bones summoned another Godzilla, and he rose as an undead revenant hell-bent on destroying Japan.
Okay, why Japan? Couldn't he pick on some other country?
He stomped around the Americas a few times, but it just isn't the same. Godzilla is
True.
intrinsically linked with Japan, a symbol of both their devastation and resilience. A reminder of the threat of nuclear war and what awaits those who peer too deeply into the unknown. But also, Japan's in Godzilla's perceived territory. To him, a stomping through Osaka is just another patrol.
He's not
Huh.
always so bad, though. He can be super protective, defending other monsters, his own kid, and sometimes even people. I'd say there's 2 types of Godzillas: the monster of nature's wrath and the guardian of planet Earth.
Well, there is a third type, but to understand that, we should first answer a question. How does Godzilla walk?
On 2 legs, Wiz, obviously.
But according to Square Cube law, those legs should be crushed under his own weight.
Oh, God, here we go again.
A creature like Godzilla cannot realistically exist. This proved to be an elusive question for decades, even highlighted in Shin Godzilla, until a new theory was presented in the anime Singular Point.
Here it
If
is.
Godzilla can't exist in our reality, what if he's from a different one?
What? Like he's an alien from another dimension?
Exactly! What if all kaiju come from a higher plane of existence with no regard for the known laws of physics? This dimension enters our reality in the form of archetype, a transtemporal conceptual particle.
It's that red dust that's floating all over the place.
This archetype can enter any timeline to terraform the Earth and all of reality so that kaiju can exist. This theoretically explains why various Godzillas appear in so many universes. They all trace back to one singular point.
Ha!
Godzilla Ultima.
Sporting the wide grin of a demonic Oni, Ultima is vicious. Just walking through Tokyo started 1,000 earthquakes around Japan. Even his own blood is a weapon.
Over 300 feet tall and growing ever more as archetype distorts the universe, Ultima's existence implies a far more complex origin for all Godzillas. Godzilla is a test for humanity, a challenge laid out by an eldritch entity from a dimension we are incapable of perceiving or comprehending.
It's kind of like how when we move an object and its shadow changes, we get why that happened. But to someone who exists in only a 2D plane, the shadow looks like it just randomly transformed into something totally different. Crazy to think about. Come a really long way from Big Lizard Smash Building, huh?
Yeah.
This shadow, this wannabe god, desires to play with and destroy every single universe.
And Godzilla is its avatar.
Through Ultima, this entity sees the universe as an interactable fiction and can control causality. Ultima himself is a singular point, one of many gateways through which the entity can tamper with reality.
Think of it this way. If something happens that the entity doesn't like, it can just say, that thing didn't actually happen, and presto, it no longer happened.
That's not to say such an event can't happen in the moment of occurrence, but the entity disconnects cause and effect and nullifies events in retrospect without regard for time.
And now my head hurts. TLDR, Ultima tried to bring about a catastrophe that would end the universe in like a week's time. So, a wacky robot and a time-traveling Alexa used a supercomputer and this familiar-looking doohickey
The orthogonal diagonalizer.
to zap all of Archetype into its final form, cutting off the entity's connection to the universe.
But not killing it. Because while each Godzilla has its differences, one thing remains certain.
Godzilla is immortal, and that makes him the king.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
And pause. Pause. Okay. So I'm not gonna lie. Throughout most of this, I've my internet just as Godzilla's analysis was about to wrap up, my internet went out for a sec. So now I'm worried about how far I can how I'm gonna be able to sync this up. Wonderful. Okay. Well, I guess we need to talk about this now. So Ultima's a little bonkers. Like I know, crazy, but okay. There was a lot of stuff brought up for Hulk's analysis that that did get me thinking. Like the whole like reading minds thing, I think is fascinating. Like I don't know. My thought was maybe because I mean I didn't hear any counter argument to this in Godzilla's analysis, but my thought was maybe if Hulk read Godzilla's mind and like he would like then determine that he would be able to figure out what Godzilla is and then figure out a way to work around it. Because they focused a lot on the intelligence of Bruce Banner, that's good because that's very important to have, but it also makes me wonder just how, like, if Bruce is able to figure out what Godzilla is. If that's the case, then I could see sorry, I've been focusing on something else. I need to I need to stay focused. I could see Hulk or Bruce figuring out a way to, like, because Ultima was beaten. They did say he wasn't killed, but he was cut off from, like, our universe. Like, that's a thing that has worked on him before, and it's something that like it's there, and he's knowledgeable about it. So if Bruce, or I guess it's a Hulk ability, huh? If Hulk read Godzilla's mind and figured out that's a thing that worked on him before, then maybe? There's a lot of maybes, though, because that's the thing. Again, when it comes to, like... When it comes to killing each other, I just don't know how it's possible. You know what I mean? So... Yeah, there's something else brought up for Hulk. I'm trying to remember what it was. I mean, I also think, you know, the first firmament thing, the chain thing that held eternity. Like, I do think if Hulk can, if Hulk can interact with Ultima, I think he wins. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right now. Like that my opinion on that did not change. Like if Hulk has a way to beat Ultima, I guess he doesn't even necessarily have to kill him. Like I know it's a death battle, but like but like I feel like battlefield removal is absolutely a viable win condition. So maybe I think I'm gonna stick. I want to be like. I think I'm gonna stick with my guns and I'm gonna go with the Hulk. But obviously there's a lot at play here, so we'll just have to see what happens. Let's hope things work out for me. Both on my bets and on my video.
Godzilla has reached the city. So far, the evacuation is... Wait, look!
Okay. Great start. Yep, we're already looking good. Yeah. Jesus!
All right, Hulk. Time for me to take over. We don't want any trouble.
No! Hulk stays!
Yeah, it wasn't over that quickly. Nice to see Bruce, though. I guess this is... We're going by Starship Hulk, huh?
You think you're strong? I scan the world! Stay down!
Okay. World Breaker already. Or at least I think this is... Yeah, I think this is World Breaker. Oh, nice. This whole city is... Yeah, see, here's the problem. Hulk
Stupid lizard.
Hulk is looking really good, but this is when things turn around. But we got Ultima already, so that's interesting.
I think I understand.
It's been days since the battle began, and the red dust is spreading. Godzilla has grown in size, but we believe we are...
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
How does it work?
Wait,
Well,
what?
Smash. A million, trillion to one and rising. That's the odds. Chance to nullify the madness behind the monster.
Oh, this is interesting.
2 + 2 is 5. A right angle is 80 degrees. This element is beyond what we can perceive. Like gamma. 1,000 times. A million.
Come on, Hulk.
A trillion. I
Figure it out.
just need one.
Come on. Is that it? That's how he was beaten before.
You did it, big guy. We did it.
Yes!
Okay, run this by me. What happened?
It's complicated, so
Let's
let's break this
go!
down into 3 categories. First up, power. Most versions of Godzilla can shrug off black holes and extinction level events, tag beyond light speed foes like Gigan, blow up planets. However, the Hulk is beyond that.
The big guy clapped a universe to bits and shook the infinite dimensions linked to the crossroads. In a straight fight with a classic Godzilla, 616 Hulk smashes the power advantage.
But factoring
Yeah.
in Ultima changes things. The entity sees all of space-time and can manipulate its results at a whim. No matter how strong the Hulk got, Ultima could potentially negate it.
But Hulk broke chains made of the first firmament, which could overwhelm eternity.
Yep.
Abstract concept of a being not entirely unlike Ultima's entity.
Even a small piece of the first firmament could break the multiverse. Plus, Hulk kept up with Odin Force Thor, who is also on a celestial level of power.
So the gap in power becomes nebulous. Still, unless Hulk could remove Ultima from the equation, neither held a clear advantage in power and stats.
Especially when you look at their immortality.
This was practically a never-ending death loop. Even with their healing factors, both could technically kill each other, but then just come right back.
The
Yeah.
Green Door instantly appears when Hulk goes to the below place, and the higher dimensional entity could always summon a replacement Godzilla avatar. So both Hulk and Godzilla could not stay dead.
Unless they could somehow prevent what was happening in those other dimensions. So let's examine the layers of their multiverses. Marvel's Cosmos has infinite higher dimensions, which themselves are transcended by the astral plane, the superflow, and so on until you reach the House of Ideas, the domain of the one above all.
Since the one below all mirrors the one above all, the below place mirrors the House of Ideas. Get it?
In comparison,
True.
the cosmos of Godzilla's multiverse is just as vast and infinite, but does not have the same sort of transcending layers above and below. This
I
means
see.
the below place, the Hulk's respawn point and source of power, is out of the entity's reach.
So the real question is, if they both can't die and Ultima's entity can't affect the below place, could Hulk somehow stop the entity before it destroyed the universe?
It all comes down to gamma and archetype. Ultima was defeated in the anime by using a trans-temporal super dimension calculator operating at infinite speeds to activate the orthogonal diagonalizer, turning Archetype against itself.
Ultima endlessly spews this stuff, so there's plenty to work with. And Hulk can reach into comic book gutter space, so he should be able to reach through a singular point. But that's not enough.
Fortunately for Hulk, it just so happens he knows someone who, like scientists who have defeated Godzilla in the past,
Yes.
is an expert on particles from
Let's
the great
go,
dimension
Bruce.
that mutate reality beyond our understanding.
Who made a device with those particles that breaks space-time, like the diagonalizer? Who made a supercomputer that scanned the infinite multiverse with the speed of a hypermind, like the dimension calculator? Hell, the guy made
That
an
was the thing I was
interstellar
thinking
radio
of
out
that I
sticks
forgot
and
about.
stones in a matter of days, and even built an ultimate nullifier. It's like he was made for this.
The Green Door waits for no Hulk, including Banner. Even if Ultima's catastrophe destroyed the universe, the door could deposit Banner in a different universe and he could continue the fight.
He had all the time in the infinite multiverse.
There was only one way this could end, and only one person who could make it so.
Even among
There you
gods
go.
and monsters, man was the ultimate weapon.
The winner is Bruce Banner.
Next time on Death
All
Battle.
right, 200. It's Ruby versus Maka.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be that. All right, cool. Well, I mean, at the very least, it means I don't have to do much of anything because I've already researched. I am on that fight, but I've already done my research for it. And since it's a Kickstarter episode, I already got the art already done, so I don't have to do much of anything for that fight. Yay! It's just well, for one, it's not a match I'm particularly like. I get the match. You know, I know why they're themed together. But I don't know. Just the idea of just with how obvious of a result that has. And then, you know me, I'm a big Ruby fan, but you also know this community. They make being a Ruby fan really goddamn difficult. So, I wanted to, I wanted to celebrate with the community that episode 200 is what it is, but it's going to be kind of hard to celebrate when everybody's constantly talking shit about the franchise you really like, and then you tried to defend it, and then you're written off as either being I don't know. I don't really know how to put it. This is not a fight I'm celebrating. It's going to be cool. I imagine it's going to be really cool. You know, I love Ruby, both the character and the show. So seeing them again is going to be really cool. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing much community interaction with this one, which for it being up to 200 kind of sucks. But I guess I'm just going to have to hope that the episode is good, and then we can just move on with our lives. But as for this fight, this was really cool. I like this one a lot. And yeah, one of the biggest things I wanted from this was for Bruce to play a factor in how like I wanted Bruce to play a factor into the result. Sure enough, he was the ace in the hole. So I love that. I am happy with that. And the fight was super cool. The animation was phenomenal. I really liked what they did there. And honestly, by the I like the idea that the fight went on for days. That's the other part I really like. It's just like it's not just a 3-minute conflict and then whoever wins moves on with their life. No, apparently Hulk and Godzilla have been fighting for days on end. So I think that's really neat. I do have to wonder what that, I'm guessing that was just, like, original, but I do wonder what that glove was that Hulk, had. I'm guessing they made it, they probably picked it up from somewhere and then made it up. Like, it's original to this fight, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe it's from something super famous and obvious that I just never seen, read, or played. But yeah, no. Awesome fight. I liked that a lot. So yeah. I think that's just about to do it. That's just about to do it. That was perfect English. I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and call it here. I'm happy. I'm actually really happy that my guy won. Like the guy I repped on our podcast. I finally got one win. I mean, I had Omni-Man, but I did not think he was gonna win. So, like I walked into that knowing full well that, or at least I thought full well that, yeah, I was gonna lose that. But I mean, I didn't. But God, now that I brought that fight up and now I brought the results up, I can't wait to see the comment. I can't wait to see a comment calling me out for talking about it. No, that's gonna be fun. Yeah. Anyway, can't wait for that to be completely. So yeah, I finally a character I repped won. Can't wait for that to be ripped away from me for the next episode. But all right. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get going. I have stuff to do. So and another fight to prepare for. So with that, that's all I have to say. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.